Hello, everyone. You're watching SGTV. I'm your host, Indranil Basu, and today we have perfect Indian bowling all rounder with us, Mr. Harshal Patel. Welcome to SGTV.
Thank you. Thank you for having me.
I like your smile. That's how it's important when you're playing cricket. You have good days, bad days, but the smile has to be intact all the time.
Yeah, it's important in life, I think, to realize that every morning you wake up and it's an opportunity to do something, and I always look at things as you know there are more things that could go wrong,
Yeah,
so there's always something to be thankful about and smile about.
absolutely. This is how it is. If you have one bad news and one good news, which one would you like to hear first?
That's a good question. Probably the good news.
Yeah.
Uh, I'm good at dealing with bad news.
Okay.
At times I don't know what to do with the good news because I'm a pathological worrier. So whenever something good happens, I'm always trying to nitpick what lies underneath and
Yeah.
what the good news brings with it. Because it's always cloaked in something. So even when it is not, I try to see it that way. It's just something in my nature, I think.
Absolutely. But as you rightly pointed out, a cricketer has more bad days than good days. So how do you overcome bad days? When you have, you know, hammered all over the park, you come back to your room. So how do
Yeah.
you overcome that situation?
Yeah, the first thing is the realization that cricket and especially T20, the nature of the game is such that it's always going to be 50-50.
Mm.
And if you win 50% of the time, then you've done well, I think. Because the game has become so competitive and the quality of cricket has gone a few notches higher, and you don't have a lot of time to sit in your room and sulk because you have a game in another day or two. So it's just very important to realize the fact that it's always going to be like that. It's a pendulum, it keeps swinging both ways, and the faster you realize that, the faster you can focus on the mistakes you made, if you made any, or you just realize that it was just a bad day, and your plans or your executions didn't go as you wanted them to go, because there are so many variables in a T20 game or in sports in general. So if you try to control every single aspect of everything that is happening around you, it's a recipe for disaster. So you think about the things that you can control, and then probably learn a lesson from your failure and just move on as quickly as you can. It's easier said than done at times, but as a sportsman, as a professional sportsman, you have to do it, otherwise you'll keep spiraling down that pit of negativity, and everything will suffer.
So well explained. Really, it's a lesson to all the youngsters who are going to watch this. This is so perfectly said.
Yeah,
But
and the tricky thing about this is it's actually to know this thing and to put it in practice. They are two very different things.
yes,
So even for me, after spending so much time in professional cricket and understanding these things, there are days where you just can't pull yourself self out of that negativity, and that happens. It takes you a little while to sort of come out of it, but at the end
yes.
of the day, the principles remain the same. That this is what you have to do. How you do it changes at times. How fast you do it changes at times. But I think the principles remain the same.
Absolutely. And that's the reason, Harshal, whenever you have a bad match and the following match you come back so strong.
Yeah.
And you keep coming back. That's and cricket is all about comebacks and you do it so well. And that's why you
Yeah.
have been playing so consistently and with a top team like RCB. That's
Right.
probably the reason.
Right. So I've spent, this is my 10th year in IPL, and I've never been not picked for a team, even though I've not, in these 10 years, probably I've had three very good years,
Mm.
including this one. And apart from that, I've played on and off, on and off. But the reason why I always remain in the team is just that attitude, and the willingness to work on my game and get better and contribute even when I'm not playing.
But there's another aspect of your bowling which I really like, is bowling wicket to wicket, and that's why we saw that spell against Mumbai Indians earlier this year, where you knocked 5 wickets of
Yeah,
the Mumbai batsmen. The ran through the middle order
yeah.
and the lower middle order. That was quite a spell.
Yeah, I think if you don't bowl in the stumps, you take two dismissals out anyways,
Yes.
which you don't want to do. You want to give yourself options. And the other thing is, my bowling action is set up in such a way that I have a big angle coming in, so it's sort of easier for me to hit the stumps at all times. And the Mumbai spell was definitely special for me because obviously I was traded to RCB. I was given a big role of bowling in the death, which I have not done consistently in IPL. And they saw that in me, that I have the skills and the temperament to do that, play that role. And I just wanted to prove to myself that they've put the faith in me, and I can go and execute. And that obviously did not start well. The first over went for 15 runs. I bowled a no ball. The free hit went for six. So it did not begin well, but again, like you said, it's all about how you come back from it, how you come back from failure, and um, execute your plans. And the second half, like the last third over of that game, were pretty good.
And I also like the way you hammer the ball when you have the SG bat with you, and that knock, of I think 12 odd balls, 31 against Kings
Yeah,
11. That was really special, and yeah, I mean that's why we introduced you, at the right at the start of the show, that
yeah.
perfect batting bowling all rounder.
Yeah, yeah. Batting is one of those things that I enjoy batting more than bowling. To be very honest with you,
Yeah,
I do enjoy bowling, no doubt about it. I love bowling, but batting is something that comes naturally to me. I'm more talented with the bat than with the ball. That's something I learned from AB, watching AB for so many years up close and personal.
yeah,
That's something I learned from him, that he even though he's a big hitter of the ball, even though he knows he can clear the boundary at will, but he is someone who will always try to hit the gaps, always try to hit the ball where the bowlers aren't, where the fielders aren't placed.
yeah.
So by doing that, you minimize your risk of getting out.
Yes.
So something I learned from him, and I try and replicate that in my batting.
And that team RCB, it's filled with the superstars, and quite often it's been said that they don't have that many bowlers. When we look at Harshal Patel, he's always been there for the
Yeah,
team, which
yeah.
is a great thing to have. But tell me, I mean, how is it playing with superstars? I mean, you're also a superstar in so many ways.
I've always been a silent observer. I've observed these guys from afar for a very long time, and I try and pick small little things from them whenever I can. Like I said with AB, with Virat, how he minimizes the risk in his game is by running between the wickets
Yeah,
so brilliantly well. And to be able to do that, he works very hard on his fitness. And playing with these greats of the game, like I had the privilege of playing with alongside Chris Gale for about 6 years until he left RCB, and
yeah,
in his peak, I've seen all his great knocks in at Chinnaswamy and all that. So you always get something to learn from these giants. Obviously, you can't replicate everything that they do, but
yeah.
you get a little bit of sort of gems in their mindset, in their routines, in the way they think.
And talking about Virat Kohli, how inspiring is he as a leader? How does he handle pressure on the field when if bowlers are going for runs?
Yeah, I think his energy is contagious, as
Yeah,
everybody can see on TV, and even when he's playing for whether he's playing for India, whether he's playing for RCB, his energy is pretty much the same, and his passion for the game, his passion to win the game, is I think I've never seen that in anybody. Uh, there are times when I pick up a wicket and I'm not celebrating as much because uh, like maybe I've not executed what I wanted to execute, but I still got the wicket. But he is somebody who's always jumping around when you pick up a wicket. And also he realizes that bowlers do have a bad day, because when he is batting, most of the bowlers are having a bad day. So bowlers do have a bad day, and he realizes that. And as a captain, I think he understands it really well, and he'll just tell you that keep reiterating what you planned in the meetings, and just try and execute. Don't think about what happened in the last ball. Don't think about what you're going to do in the next ball. Just focus on this ball, and just focus on your plans and focus on execution. Everything else will happen eventually.
Absolutely. So, and that's the reason we are seeing so many successful bowlers from India, in IPL, in international cricket, in the current crop of fast bowlers we have with the Indian team, and hearing your mindset, and that's how the psyche is, the common psyche is to, how to fight back, how to go undercooked, not carry too much confidence, because that could lead to overconfidence.
Right.
Wonderful way of, simplifying things. And what are your thoughts?
So the level of competition in domestic cricket has gone so high, and because of IPL, all of us, all the guys who have not played international cricket yet, who don't have that exposure, have already got that exposure through IPL.
Yeah.
Because I think in terms of the pressure you face, and the things that you have to do in your preparation, and like you said, to get out of a bad game, how do you handle, if you are in a really good form, how do you handle yourself then? um, all these experiences um, uh, they're sort of, IPL teaches you all these things
Yes.
in the most uh, simulated environment of international cricket, because IPL is as close as you can get to international cricket without playing it.
Absolutely. In fact, talking about domestic cricket, you've led Haryana, and
Yes.
how was it? I mean, you've got lots of wickets playing domestic cricket. You're not someone who's coming and taking wickets in IPL only.
Yeah.
You're seen in domestic cricket, you perform, you get 5 wicket hauls. You're constantly there. You're leading the side, and it's so challenging playing Ranji Trophy. And thank God it's happening this year again. So, your thoughts?
Leading Haryana has been a privilege. I mean, ever since I came into the team, they've adopted me as their own, and now I don't. Not for a moment, even when I played my first game for Haryana, that I felt that I'm an outsider. Not for a moment I felt that. And they've been very kind to me. They've been very generous to me. They've never dropped me, even when I thought I should have been dropped because I was struggling with form, or struggling with my skills. But they've always put a lot of faith in me, and they gave me the responsibility of leading the team in 2019, and I'm it's a real privilege to sort of lead a Ranji Trophy team.
But you also have that extra cultural exposure. You've been to Ahmedabad, you've been in Gujarat, you went to America, you are in Haryana, so that mixed thing also helped you to grow as a person, and that's why it shows in your game.
Yeah.
Harsh.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, three very different cultures.
Yes.
Born and brought up in Ahmedabad, a proper Gujarati family. Then my family moved to US, so I had quite a bit of exposure of American culture, which I love, by the way.
Yeah.
And then the Haryana culture, which is completely opposite. I mean, I I love Haryana for a lot of reasons, but one of the most important reason is how unvarnished people are. They'll tell you what they feel on your face in the most blunt way, which I love. There's no sugarcoating. There's no beating around the bush. It's been a great growing experience for me to sort of engage in all these cultures.
And because of this culture in Haryana, probably that's the reason they have such a strong contingent of athletes.
They're hard people. They're mentally strong. They're physically strong. And yeah, that's probably one of the reasons why Haryana dominates in not only like cricket, but a lot of other sports as well.
Absolutely. And Harshal, you also have been dominating in your own capacity. In whichever team you have played, you've been such a great brand ambassador. Thanks for coming on SGTV, sharing your thoughts. It was pleasure knowing your mind on the game. And we wish you all the best and keep taking lots of wickets and keep scoring loads of runs. Thanks a lot.
Thank you so much. Thank you for having me.